Hello, my name is Paul Jegede. So I recently started working for RDF. My background is as a sports rehabilitator, but I have some history in basketball, I have some history in volleyball as well. So what I'm going to be doing with the team is just looking at some general conditioning of like the joints. Going to look at some flexibility. Going to look at warm-ups also, and then just some sport-specific exercises which is going to help the athletes benefit from these sessions. So we're splitting it into 2 sessions. So there's going to be under 12s to under 14 session and under 16 to under 18 session. So I hope you lot enjoy, and let's get ready. Okay guys, so for the warm-up we are going to start off by increasing your heart rate. So what we want to do is, this can be anything. So if you have a skipping rope handy, that would be perfect, be ideal. So it can either be skipping, we can do some jogging, we can just do some like squat jumps, mountain climbers, anything that you find raises your heart rate. So what we're going to do, so we're just going to start with 3 minutes of some heart-raising exercises. So whether this is going to be skipping or not, if you're unable to do it for 3 minutes straight, then we can break it into intervals. So do a minute of high intensity, then do 30 seconds of medium intensity, back to a minute of high intensity, and then 30 seconds medium again. So it's going to start with some skipping. So there's different variations. We can do skipping, we can do double leg, high knees, and if you're really skilled, you can add some doubles into it as well. I'm aware that not everyone might have a skipping rope, so what we can do instead, there's 2 other exercises that we can do. So we can do some star jumps, or we can do some high knees. And so let me just demonstrate what they're going to look like. So star jump, start with your hands by your sides and out. And then the other exercise that we can be doing is high knees. So I'm gonna stand, feet roughly shoulder width apart, and it's, you really wanna make sure you're bringing your knees up. Make sure you're not letting your trunk fall forwards like that, keeping your body nice and upright. The next exercise that we're going to be doing, which is also going to help raise your heart rate, is going to be foot fire. So you lot might be familiar about this from practice. I'm sure your coaches must have gone through this with you, but I'm going to demonstrate it for you. So what we're going to do, feet roughly shoulder width apart. We're going to get into kind of quarter squat position, hands out as if you're playing defense, and on your toes as fast as you can. You want to keep your chest nice and high. So again, you're not going to be falling forwards like this. You're not going to put the pressure on your back, so you keep it nice and upright. So this is going to be done for a minute, so get ready and wait for the timer. So the next part of our session is just going to look at a bit of dynamic stretching. So this is just to help with mobility and just prepare the body for the session that we have planned for later on. So I'm just going to go through just a couple of general stretches that we're going to be doing, but further on in the session there is going to be a flexibility aspect to it. So what we're going to be doing at first is I just want to start with some sweepers. So this is focusing on the hamstrings. So gonna have one foot forwards, gonna go nice and low and sweep. Nice and low and sweep.
On the side, on the other side, and then...
So the leg at the back can have a slight bend in it, but it's the foot at the front you want completely straight. And with your hands facing forwards, you wanna try to sweep as low as you can and bring it back up. So the next stretch we're going to be looking at is going to be focusing on our quads and our hip flexors. So this is really important in basketball as you use your legs for a range of different movements. So for this movement, the first variation is opposite hand to opposite leg. So left hand to right foot, right hand up, and as you pull your leg backwards, you reach up. So I'm going to show you this from a side profile. So opposite hand, opposite foot, right arm, and as you bring this foot out like that, you stretch as high as you can. So the other variation to this is a scorpion stretch. So it's going to be same hand to same leg, and this is a harder variation than the stretch before. Same hand to same leg, reach up, and what I want you to do is I want you to try reach down towards your toes. So this adds a little bit of hamstring into it, but it really focuses on your quads and your hip flexors. Okay guys, so for the next exercise on stretch, we're gonna need something. It could be a lamp post, it can be a wall, anything that you can just kind of balance your body on whilst you're doing this movement. So this is going to start looking towards your adductors and also your groin and just like your hip mobility in general. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to hold onto the pole, and then there's two ways we're going to do this. So we're going to do it once facing either the wall or the pole, any object that you're holding onto, and then the other side we're going to be parallel to it, so our side towards it. So to begin with, I'll start parallel with it. So I'm going to stand, and then what I want you to do is imagine your leg is like a pendulum. So you're going to swing your leg forward and back. You're going to try to go as high as you can. Either way. And then we're going to change and do the same on the opposite leg. The second variation is when we are facing the pole. So you are going to have both hands or legs on, and then you're going to swing across your body, making sure you're really opening up your hip. And we're going to do this on both legs. So a tip is when you're swinging your leg out, you're really making sure you're relaxing and trying to open up that hip as wide as it can go, and then you're going to swing all the way back through. The final stretch that we're going to be doing is going to be focusing on the calf. So this is just to get a bit of movement and mobility through your gastroc and soleus. So the movement we're going to be doing is you can find a bed, a chair, a table, even a wall. And then what we're going to be doing, we're going to have both hands pressed on it, and you're going to be feet next to each other like this. As one foot is up, the other one's down. And we're going through our movement back and forth. Really want to make sure you're pushing your heels down to the floor to get that stretch up your calf. So we're going to start off the session with just a bit of general conditioning. So the joint that we're going to be looking at today is mostly going to be the ankle. So the muscle that causes plantar flexion, which is the pointing of your toes, is your gastrocnemius, which is your calf muscle. So what we're going to start off by doing is we're doing 3 sets of calf raises, but each set is going to be a different variation of calf raise, and I would like you to complete 10 to 12 repetitions. The first set of calf raises, it's going to be feet parallel, facing directly forward. So what I want is 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. So you're going to go up and down, up, down, up. So the next variation that we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing your feet outwards. This works your lateral calf, so the outside of your calf muscles. So you're going to have feet facing out, heels closer together, and you're going to go up, really making sure you're pushing your feet outwards. And for the final variation, what we're going to be doing is feet, toes close together, heels facing outwards. So this starts to work the medial calf. So this is the inside of your calf muscle. So go in. If you find yourself losing balance, have like a chair or a wall next to you that you can just help to get your balance. Remember, it's 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Okay, that's complete. So when you are going up into the calf raise, you really want to make sure that you're going up over your toes instead of pushing your feet outwards. So this can be done by watching your knees track over your big toe. And the final coaching tip would be when you're coming down, it's in a slow and controlled manner. So you'll feel it, it might feel a little bit shaky. But what you want to do is you want to lower yourself nice and slowly, and then it's more of an explosive push up and it's a lower slowly. So remember, 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Proprioception of the ankle is very important. So proprioception is the way your body reacts to outside stimulus. So being able to balance on one foot, just working on the proprioception of your ankles, and there's ways that we can challenge this or not. So the next exercise we're doing is a single leg balance. So what I want you to do is you're going to be standing on one leg for 30 seconds. You're going to be looking directly forwards, find a fixed position. So we're going to be holding this for 30 seconds, and what we're going to try to do is we're doing 2 sets on each leg. So it's going to be a minute on each leg. So what we're going to be doing in this exercise, we're going to be counting how many times you lose balance and how many times your foot touches the ground. So coaching tips for this is, if you find a fixed position on a wall or a sign or anything, you're just going to stare at that. This is just going to help with your balance and help you to concentrate on keeping balanced. And you'll realize your ankle is going to be going left and right, in and out. And what I want you to do is just try to balance as long as you can for the 30-second period. So the next exercise we're going to be doing is, it's a hopscotch, so it's 2 feet to 1 foot, 2 feet to 1 foot. So this is going to start looking at the way you are able to land and stabilize on 1 foot. And so this is important in basketball for layups, even just pivoting around, being able to jump stop with the ball. So the skills are transferable to the sport. So this exercise will be completed, so we're going to do 5 reps on each leg twice. So each repetition counts as going from 2 foot to 1 foot, and that counts as 1 repetition. So we're going to do that 5 times on 1 foot, 5 times on the other foot, and we're doing that twice. So coaching tips for this would be, once you've gone from 2 feet to 1 foot, you want to make sure that your knee is tracking over your big toe. So we don't want to let your knee fall inwards, don't want your knee falling outwards, because this can have some pressure on your ligaments, your medial and lateral ligaments of the knee. And once you land on 1 foot, I want it to be a 3-second hold, so you're really controlling your movements at each step. So once you land, you're controlling it for 3 seconds, and then it's into the next one, controlling it for 3 seconds again. Let's go. So the next exercise is going to be focusing on proprioception as well. This exercise is called the tandem stance, and this is also just a way of working on balance, which is going to be very important for you when you're playing basketball, as balance is key in producing any type of movement. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. This exercise is going to be done for 30 seconds, and so we're doing the same 2 sets with your right foot in front, 2 sets with your left foot in front, or you can alternate between them both. The same thing as before, we're going to be counting how many errors we make, so how many times you lose balance or how many times you step out of alignment. So the tips for this is going to be pretty similar to the one before, which is focusing on a point in front of you, which is going to help you keep your balance. just a couple of extra things that you can be doing just to help like your ankle to have healthy ankles and strong ankles. So you want to try to invest in something called TheraBand. So TheraBands, you can get them in all different colors, shapes and sizes. You can have just these normal straight ones, you can have the loops as well. So what these are going to help do is you can use them to go through movements, just through like your normal ankle movements, and also you can use it to help stretch as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with the red band. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the band underneath my foot and in this position. So the band is roughly around the balls of my feet, and then all I want to do while I'm holding it is I'm going to let my ankle fall forwards, then control it all the way back. Shift forwards, all the way back. So we're doing 3 sets of 10 of these exercises here. So the next variation that we're going to be doing is we're going to fall forwards and then let the ankle fall inwards. So it's 2 movements. So it's down and then down and then down. So 3 sets of 10. So for this one, you're going to have the band tied onto something. So you can tie it to a door, you can tie it onto like a table leg or anything like that. And it's the same movement, so we're bringing it all the way back. So it's a nice slow and controlled movement. You're controlling the movement all the way through, all the way up and all the way down. And then, okay, and the next variation of this exercise, you're going to go up and then you're going to bring your heel outwards. So it's up, heel out and back down. Up, heel out, there you go. Up. So for this variation, you want to act like you're trying to bring your small toe towards your body. So now we're going to be looking towards more sport specific exercises which are going to have a higher output towards power. So this first exercise that we're going to be doing is called pogos. So the pogo is it's literally a small jump that we're going to be doing repetitively, and in this it works on your tendon stiffness, so being able to keep tendon stiff and generate power. So for this exercise, I'm going to start feet a bit narrower than shoulder width apart, and then it is the tips for this exercise is you're not going to allow the jump to come from the knees, so it's not into a squat jump and up. It's more just allowing your feet to attack the floor. So you're going to jump, land on your toes and just take in the force and reproduce it. So you want to try to keep your knees relatively straight as possible, and you'll really feel this in your Achilles tendons and in your gastrocnemius. So this is to help with explosiveness. So in basketball, this will translate to skills such as rebounding, even has aspects to like cutting, where you're putting your foot down and giving the force back out in another direction. Yeah. Okay, so for pogos, we are doing as many as you can do in 30 seconds, and we're doing 3 sets of 30 seconds. This next exercise we're going to be doing is high skips. So this is very translatable to layups in basketball, as it's going to be the same shape that you're going to be creating in basketball, which is going to be bringing that knee nice and high and then opposite hand up as well. So what we're going to be doing is generating as much power as we can. We want to try to get as high as possible on each jump. So we can do this either on the spot or traveling. So we can go. You want to make sure you're keeping your chest up nice and high, so you're creating a nice tall shape. You want to try and bring your knee as high as you can without allowing your torso to fall forwards. So this is starting to work on the strength of your hip flexors, being able to drive them as high as possible. And on the landing, which is very important, you want to make sure you're absorbing the force properly, so it's not a stiff landing. It's you land and then you let your knees take a lot of the pressure out of it. So the next exercise that we're going to be demonstrating is the squat. So there's different variations of squat. So we can do a deep squat, which is good in just generating strength and working on stability. But then if you're wanting to do squats that are more transferable to basketball and more so towards like jumping, so quarter squats are important, but today we're just going to go for a general squat. Stand with your feet together, and then you're going to bring them out and then straighten up like that, and that should roughly be shoulder width apart. So in this movement, I want you to make sure you're keeping your knees forwards like this, so we're not letting our knees fall in like this. So we want to keep our knees over our toes. We want to make sure you're pushing your knees out. So we're going to come down into a squat. So with your arms, you can either have them on your hips or out in front. So I tend to have them out in front because it helps keep my chest upright. So you're going to go out, go down, and up. Down. From a side profile. So the coaching tips for this exercise is to not allow your knees to cave inwards. So we're going to try to keep our knees strong, forcing them outwards over your toes. And then to keep your torso upright, you really want to make sure that you're pushing your glutes out first before you bend your knees, and this helps stop you from bending your torso forwards like that. If you're struggling with balance, again, find a point on a wall, find a sign or anything just to fix your focus on, and then go all the way down and back up. This should be completed in a slow and controlled manner. And what we're doing is within 3 sets of 8 repetitions. We're gonna be looking more towards the kind of knee now and just like some movements. So we're just gonna start off again with some general conditioning. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be doing some lunges at first. So lunges, I wanna make sure that you're doing them correctly. So listen up for the coaching tips as well as watch the demonstrations to see how to perform this properly. What we're gonna be doing is you're gonna step back, not too far, and then what I want you to do is instead of lunging forwards, this back knee is what you're gonna drop to the floor. So you're gonna go onto your toe and then just gonna drop that knee all the way down and back up. So this position, gonna go down and up, making sure you keep your heel on the floor. What I want you to do is you're gonna take a step backwards with one of your legs. So in between a full step and a half step, and then instead of lunging forwards over your front knee, what I want you to do is I want you to drop that back knee directly down to the floor while keeping your torso up straight. So I'm just gonna demonstrate it for you one more time, just as I'm explaining it. So you're gonna take that step backwards, roughly half step, and then you're gonna go onto your toe. What you're gonna try to do is keep your torso nice and upright, and then you're going to drop your knee directly down to the floor and bring it back up whilst keeping your front heel down on the ground. You're gonna walk 10 paces and then put a marker on either side, and this is gonna cover the distance that we're gonna be lunging for. So going there is 1 set, going back is 1, so we're doing 4 altogether. So it's gonna be there, and back. So just going to take you through 1 or 2 stretches, just like general stretches, just going to help look after your muscles. So your hamstring and quads are the 2 that I'm really focusing on in this video. So the hamstring stretch we're most common in knowing is touching your toes, but this doesn't always have a true effect on your hamstring flexibility. So I want to show you another stretch which shows you true hamstring flexibility. So you're going to find a chair or a bench, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have your foot up at an angle like this. So it's not going to be flat, it's going to be at a 45-degree angle roughly. You're going to be facing the bench, and then what I want you to do, while keep your torso up straight, you're going to lean your body over your foot. You're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and then you're going to come back up, and then you're going to do it on the other leg. So we're doing this 30 seconds on each leg. Next stretch we're going to be doing is going to be working on your quad flexibility. So again, you're going to find something roughly like a chair, put your foot, the top of your foot on the chair. You're just going to lower all the way down and push your hips forwards. So if you don't have a chair, what you can do, you can get into that lunge position, hands in your hips, and then pushing forwards, you're going to feel the stretch going up your quad. So the next exercise we're going to be doing is going to be single hop. So this is being able to use the power in one leg and being able just to be explosive on each jump. So we're going to travel a distance of roughly 10 paces again. So we're gonna set our distance. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So in this, we're gonna be on one leg and some hop. Same with the other leg. With this exercise, you want to really make sure that you're driving your knee through each swing for the jump. So you're going to be driving the opposite knee on each jump. You want to try and limit the amount of time spent on the ground, so it's really quick and explosive movements. So for this exercise, it's step up. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need something like a chair, either like the bottom of your stairs or anything around that's just slightly elevated. So what we're gonna be doing is as followed. We're gonna start with one leg on the chair or whichever apparatus you have, and then it's gonna be up. So for this exercise, you want to make sure it's opposite hand to opposite leg. You're gonna go and you're pushing through the bench. So the leg that's on the actual bench, that's the leg that you're gonna be pushing all your weight through. All right guys, I just want you to start with giving yourself a quick round of applause. You've lot done well today. I hope you've enjoyed the session that has been delivered to you. If you do have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me, Coach Paul, or any of the coaching staff. We'll be able to help you out with anything that you need. This session is it's looked at just general conditioning, flexibility, and some more sports specific exercises that we can be using every day to help us in our development as basketball athletes and just athletes in general. Here's a message to the under 12s and under 14s. I hope you lot enjoyed the session today. Hope you lot learned a lot. If you have any questions about any of the exercises, or you feel like the exercises aren't working as well as you think they should do, just let me know, and then we can have like a little talk through and see how we can benefit you. These are just all the small little things that you might not see in basketball, so all the things behind the scenes that all the athletes will have to be doing to be able to play. So you want to make sure if these things are set in stone from when you're young, when you're getting older it becomes second nature, and it becomes it helps you get a bit of an edge over other athletes who aren't doing all these things outside of just their regular training. So I want you lot to keep safe in this troubling time, and hope you lot enjoyed the session. See you later guys.